Something a little newer this weekend we're dealing with here today. Labor Day long weekend. Hopefully everybody is somewhat enjoying themselves. What we are looking at here this weekend is a 2014 brand new Jeep Patriot. It is a Dodge product. A lot of people probably don't expect to see something like this on my channel, but I'm going to give you guys an exterior walk around of this vehicle, seeing as how it is sitting here. Maybe a lot of you are interested in Jeeps and the Dodge vehicle lineup, so I figure, well, since I have this here, I might as well give you guys a brief walk around, so to speak, here. The inside is all filled with stuff here that belongs to, well, what was left of my Caprice. Give you guys a walk around of the engine compartment here. Flawless paint. A little bit of dirt on it. Go ahead and pop the hood here. Okay, heavy hood. Engine is a bit dirty. We are dealing with a 2.4 liter. This is a 4-cylinder engine, dual variable valve timing. All our assortment of fluids is right here, located on the passenger side of the engine bay. We got engine coolant located here in this reservoir, power steering here, and washer fluid here. I don't really care for something like that. I prefer the way GM did it. The engine coolant is on the passenger side of the engine compartment, and the washer fluid was on the driver's side of the engine compartment. I really don't like things all clustered right here like this. I really don't like that. Over on this side, of course, you have your fuses, probably fusible links. Your battery is located under this contraption here. I believe it's for the air breather. Yeah, it connects to the air breather, obviously. So I don't really care for that type of layout. I prefer if things were a little separated here. Yeah. Rad cap is kind of in a, well, it's not really hooked to the radiator. It's really kind of just hooked to the rad hose itself, and you got a cap right there, but I guess that's one way to fill up your radiators, just directly into the rad hose, and I guess that's what Dodge was thinking here at that time. So it does run great. Fuel economy is fairly decent for a vehicle of this magnitude. We are dealing with an SUV here. It is front-wheel drive, four-wheel drive vehicle, but it is a front-wheel drive. Like, it's not rear-wheel drive. The front tires, of course, are the live wheels here in this case, and when you engage it in four-wheel drive, then you know you have power to your back tires. I don't really know what to think about that, but I guess a lot of car companies are doing it that way. So you got a split compartment. Okay, so you got two compartments here. This folds forward for, you know, comfort. MSRP on this vehicle with four-wheel drive is around $21,000, brand new. So it's a really good price for a Jeep. I mean, anybody's looking for a Jeep and a four-wheel drive at that, just to kind of get around and commute, well, this seems to be a pretty decent deal. Okay. So all four windows do go all the way down too. There is a child security lock on this vehicle, but all four windows do go down, especially the back ones, which I love, because I really don't care for back windows that just kind of go halfway down. The doors close very nicely. Very nice car. Lots of room. I can get in and out of it no problem. Back wiper, also a washer, jet right here, third brake light, four-wheel drive. So, like I say, lots of room here. Like, this is everything that was out of my Caprice that I totaled last Saturday. So, I had this whole compartment just filled with stuff, and I still haven't gotten around to cleaning it out yet. But like I say, lots of room. It's a great car. It's a great car. We don't have a fuel capless type of refill system here like what the Fords now have. Dodge is still putting fuel caps on their on their vehicles. Ford isn't. I believe all their vehicles now have a capless type of thing here, but Dodge still has a cap. But whatever. And it still gives you the same old warning that we've seen back in the early 2000s. Loose cap may turn or service or check light. Wait a minute. A loose cap may turn on, service, or check engine light. So there you go. That's kind of something we've seen over the course of the 2000s. You really don't want to see that nowadays, but it is what it is, right? So these vehicles do come in a standard transmission. This one does have an automatic, unfortunately. Not a big fan of automatics when it comes to something like this. I'd rather it be in a standard, especially when it comes to a Jeep. What we do have here is what is called auto stick. And when I shift into drive, okay, what is going to happen when I shift this lever over to the right? Start the engine here first. So I'm going to shove it into drive now. And then all I have to do is shift the lever over to the right, and then we have here on the dash a number 1. So obviously I'm in first gear. If I shift it over to the right again, there's number 2. That's second gear. So, and if I move it over to the left, that's downshifting. So you can kind of control the shift points to a certain point. The transmission, of course, will not shift if your RPMs are below 2,000. So if you're driving along and you're in second gear, for example, and your RPMs are just around 1750, and you try and shift over into third, it's not going to do it. Okay, it's just going to stay in that particular gear. And if you do fall below a certain point too, it'll automatically downshift. Which is good because I guess, you know, when you think about it, hypothetically speaking, if you are driving at low speeds in a high gear, well, we all know what's going to happen, right? Your engine is going to stall, and, well, your transmission has to downshift for that. So, it's kind of nice. You can kind of control the shift points to a certain extent. But nothing fancy. Like it's a nice little Jeep. There's nothing wrong with it at all. We do have controls here. This is for our dash. There's our odometer. 25 degrees outside. So if I keep pushing the step button here on the left hand side of the steering wheel, we get a whole bunch of numbers here. So there's 43,380 is actually the correct mileage that is on the vehicle. Plain Jane stereo. We do have a CD player. We do have our auxiliary port, so like you can plug in your iPhone, or you can plug into the back of your Sirius satellite radio, and you have, you know, great crystal quality sound coming from your stereo. 6 presets, AM FM radio with CD. So like I say, it's nothing fancy. Some of the Jeeps do have like a navigation type system here. This is obviously nothing fancy. Your 4-wheel drive is right here. Nothing fancy about it. Like I say, it is front wheel drive all the time. And then you just simply flip this up, and then you will get an indicator on the dash that says 4-wheel drive right here, and that lets you know that you are engaged in 4-wheel drive. There's no such thing as 4 low or 4 high or, you know, any of that nonsense. You know, so that's how you shut it off. That's how you turn it on. Like I say, it's not a rock crawler Jeep or anything where you engage it into 4 low and just, you know, it's, yeah, it is what it is. But for a Jeep, for a 4-wheel drive Jeep, and just, you know, 21,000 new, you know, you really can't complain about the price. And the fuel economy is roughly 30 miles to a gallon. I've driven it. I've driven this thing pretty hard too, and I can get around 26. But like I say, I'm moving with it, so. Very nice car. Doors closed, very nice. The rims really aren't anything fancy. They are a 16-inch, just a steel wheel on this particular vehicle. Like I say, nothing fancy. The tires are just a plain black wall. The headlight systems, no LED lights and something like this. This is pretty well an old design. Like a lot of new vehicles are coming with LED lights somewhere in them, and this one isn't. It does have daytime running lights, and when you turn on your left or right signal, one of these headlights will cut out. So if you turned on your right signal light, this headlight will cut out when the daytime running lights are on. If you have your regular headlights on and you turn on your left or right signal light, your lights are going to just stay on. It's a safety feature, but during the daytime when your running lights are on, I guess Dodge figured that, you know, if we have a relay system built in where it cuts out that one headlight, I guess you can kind of notice the signal light a little better, I suppose. I'm not sure what their idea was. They come up with a whole bunch of fancy ideas every now and then, and I guess sometimes it's kind of cool to see stuff like that. It seems like only Dodge is the only brand of vehicle that does that. I really don't see that on GM or Ford yet, so I don't know, who's to say. Maybe you will see it, maybe it won't. But all in all, it's a very nice vehicle. It does ride rough. It does ride rough. It rides like a Jeep, and you got to think about it this way too. It is a Jeep. You're not driving a Cadillac, so it rides rough. You got a short wheelbase. Actually, come to think of it, this mid-size Cutlass Sierra here actually has a longer wheelbase than the Jeep, and the Jeep is almost the same size. So it is what it is. It rides like a Jeep, but you can't beat the fuel economy, and it is a Jeep. You got a four-wheel drive, and you can take this thing anywhere. So anyway, very nice whip. Exterior walk around of the vehicle real quick here. It is kind of like a gray. It's a real dark gray. It's almost black, but we got fog lights on the bottom. You know, very, very nice car. No moonroof in this particular unit. We do have a luggage rail here, but no moonroof. 16-inch steel wheels. They do come in 17 alloy wheels as well, but this particular vehicle does not have that, unfortunately. So we do have airbags, dual airbags, and I guess we have one in the seat too, probably on the other side as well. Side curtain airbags, more than likely, especially a vehicle this new, I would assume has side curtain airbags. It'd probably be loaded right up with that kind of stuff. So power remote mirrors, power windows, door locks, all for around $21,000. Like, you can't beat that price. 4-cylinder engine, great fuel economy, and you're driving a Jeep. So the only downside is that it is an automatic. To me personally, I'd rather a 5-speed manual and something like this, especially a Jeep. You know, like, Jeeps are supposed to come with standard transmissions, so in my opinion, that's what I'd prefer anyway. So very nice vehicle. Like, you can't complain for the price. Hey, it moves. It's four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive capability is great. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video here, guys. I'll probably make another one later on this weekend too for your enjoyment. If some of you guys probably are Dodge fanatics, so I hope you enjoyed this. Very nice automobile. Maybe you guys own one, or maybe you guys know a friend that owns one. Well, they aren't bad, but they do ride rough. But who cares?